Hello folks, we're back again. Yep, same old wood burning thing, just doing some experimentation here with a couple of different mixtures. The one I'm about to do here is the one I've been using for a few days now. It's 6 ounces water, 2 full tablespoons or even tablespoons of baking soda, and then in a plastic glass, and then I popped it in the microwave and brought it up to near boiling so it would really go into solution. And over on this side we have the same with an addition of 1 tablespoon of 3% hydrogen peroxide. What the heck, we try an oxidizer, right? They use it in jet engines, you know, to rocket engines actually, to provide propulsion, and it's an oxidizer. So I don't know, we'll do that one after this one. I've got the solution on, power supply's in, we're on the mat. Now we're on the mat, and here we go. I think. Finally have ignition. This is just a piece of scrap poplar that I had in the shop. It was one of the first things my hand hit here. So we are getting some ignition here. I did not let this soak in for very long. What I'm going to do is it seems to work a little bit better when it starts to dry out. It evaporates, and now we're getting a trace now. I mean, the two electrodes are trying to get at each other. It's the natural way that the electrons are going to try and flow is from one electrode to the other, but the wood and the solution are kind of in the way. So it's slowing down the electron's ability to pass between those two electrodes, and in doing so it's kind of burning its way over there. This might be a really boring video, but I think I know a way to speed this up so you guys don't have to sit there and watch this. But you may have nothing else to do these days. Now I can obviously, well, maybe not obviously, I can move this probe I have here to a different location on the board to change the pattern, so to speak. We've got ignition on the other end now. You probably can't see it from the camera. It's behind the C-clamp, or the clamp I've got on this piece of brass with the... There we go. So I have the pedal fully down right now. If I raise the pedal up, you'll see that the sparks will sort of die off. So I'm back down full input voltage on the primary side of the transformer. So while we're waiting here, we're getting a little bit more speed. This transformer is a boost transformer. There's kind of basically 3 types. A buck transformer, which will take higher primary voltage and then drop that voltage down to some known value on the secondary side. This is well, let's see, it'd be like 100 plus to 1 turn ratio. So we got 120 volts boosting up to 10,000 volts. And then they have like a filtering type of transformer where the primary side has the same amount of windings as the secondary side, and that's for a lot of times isolation purposes for equipment that is sensitive to spikes and very quick voltage transients. The flux in between the two coils kind of is able to ride out the ups and dips and downs of the primary side for a very short time, and it allows the secondary side to kind of ride through that abnormal event. So it's better for the equipment that's sensitive equipment that might be hooked to the secondary side. Well, we've got some pretty fine branches going on here. Yeah, so Lichtenberg in 1777, he discovered not this particular process, but the process of high energy deposition onto a charged surface that created beautiful patterns. And so he did a bunch of experimenting with it. It was, you know, one of those things, another accident, right? Something that's discovered by accident. But he went on to do a bunch of experiments. And really, you know, from 1777 to modern day, what really became of that process and the experiments are laser printing and high energy plasma physics. It really is, this process I'm doing here is not quite that high in energy. We're not talking millions and millions of volts, but it's enough voltage certainly to get your attention. Now you can see the two sides, or the two electrodes, their traces are getting very close to one another. So I'm going to stop it just as they meet, and then you're going to see a trace across there. So I'm going to let up on that, and I'm just going to stick this over here and just see if we can get a little more coverage here. By the way, this I have a very small fan working right now to vent the smoke out. We'll see if we can not have the electrode arc here, because we're getting close to 1 inch. Well, that was a shortcut around the side there. All right, that's that side. My probe is down, movable probe. Going to swing this over to the other side. Now this other side's had a chance to kind of dry out a little bit. I'm not sure if that's good or bad. This is the side with the peroxide. So, and it was hot when it went on here. So here we go. Let's get on the mat. Here we go. We have ignition right away. We got a lot of sparkles going down the other.
Well, folks, here we go again.
I'll try and finish up that last attempted video. The battery died in the camera as I was going to swing down this other end here where I had the hydrogen peroxide added to the mixture, but I got the clue when the lens kind of retracted into the camera. So I'm kind of new to this YouTube stuff. You know, I'm an older guy and I've been around computers for a long time, but never really done any videos per se. So I'm kind of new to the YouTube platform. And kind of in reality, you know, I'm the writer, the script editor, producer, director, key grip, light and sound engineer, caterer, and staff makeup technician. You know, I'm kind of doing everything here. And in a more vivid reality, I'm not very good at any of those assigned duties, to be honest with you, but I'm struggling along, so I hope you'll bear with me here. So without further ado, this is I'm back to my cell phone here because I think it takes a little bit better video actually, but I'll try to get us all through this. So this was that pattern that I started with. You remember I was able to put that probe into different locations here to try and fill this pattern out. And then we got over to this one, and it seemed to be a little bit more active with that peroxide on it, but it might have just been that it was pretty hot when I put it on there. And it might have penetrated a little bit better into the wood. I'm not really sure. You know, you can see it's got pretty good detail on the peroxide side. And, you know, I don't know, it's pretty comparable on this side too. Are the channels a little bit deeper over here? I don't really know. But I had a couple of other samples, and I've been kind of playing with this Lichtenberg burner here for a week or more. So here's a piece of maple again that this half is unsanded. You can see the detail on this side. You can see this has a very light oil coating on it. So this side you can see with sanding, it does take some of that detail out of there. But you do get, you know, some nice channel burns in the thing. So I think the harder the wood, maybe the more detail you can put into it. Here's a piece of mahogany. Again, I think being able to move that electrode around the board gives you a lot more ability to create some different patterns. Here's a couple of maple knife scales, and I'm getting ready to attach to an old 1930s automatic knife. Hopefully I did this in the right sequence. I'm thinking I don't really have to do very much to the surface as far as finishing goes, but we'll see how that works. And I even did some leather, which wasn't very successful. It certainly burned some channels on there, but the actual baking soda and water compound kind of discolored the leather, so I don't consider that too much of a success. But I did try it also in some bone, and that worked relatively okay. So obviously it's well, not obviously, but works best in non-conductive surfaces, I guess, and something that you can actually burn, combust, so to speak. And I think I'll leave it right there with you, but you can see it's a pretty neat process. It's kind of amazing what electricity can do for us if we're careful and respect it, and use it as an art medium. So thanks for watching, and I appreciate your time. Bye now.